Before we dive into the massive fallout from Week 15 and the league's disciplinary actions, I need everyone to smash that like button right now to help push this Vikings content out to the faithful. I also want to know exactly where the Skol soldiers are stationed today, so drop your name and your city in the comment section below. I'm seeing a huge surge of fans tuning in from overseas, and I want to see if we can cover every continent in the comment section today. My sources confirmed late last night that the NFL has officially handed down significant punishment to the Dallas Cowboys following their 34-26 loss to our Minnesota Vikings, while the scoreboard was the ultimate silencer, effectively nailing the coffin shut on Dallas's playoff aspirations. The league office in New York reviewed the tape and found multiple instances where the Cowboys crossed the line physically. This speaks volumes about the level of frustration Brian Flores' unit induced in the opposition. When a team gets physically dominated and schematically confused, they tend to lash out, and that is exactly what we saw happen at AT&T Stadium. I have obtained the specific details regarding the game day accountability report for Week 15, and 2 specific Cowboys defenders have been hit with fines for their conduct against Minnesota. I've been told that Cowboys cornerback Kalen Carson has been fined $5,686 for an incident occurring deep in the second quarter. At the 3:07 mark, the league office identified an unnecessary roughness violation involving striking, kicking, or kneeing. This wasn't just a football play. The league determined it was a non-football act significant enough to warrant financial discipline. Furthermore, Reddy Stewart was also slapped with a fine of $4,667. This stemmed from a play in the first quarter, right around the 3:08 mark, where Stewart committed a horse collar tackle. These types of tackles are incredibly dangerous, and the league has been cracking down on them to protect player safety. While both players have the right to appeal these rulings to hearing officers like Derek Brooks or Jordy Nelson, the fact remains that the Vikings frustrated them into making sloppy, dangerous mistakes. The discipline displayed by Minnesota compared to the reckless frustration showed by Dallas was a defining margin in this game. But the fines are just the aftermath. The real story here is why the Cowboys were so rattled. I have been analyzing the post-game comments from the Dallas locker room, and the insight provided by Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott is absolutely critical for understanding why this Vikings defense is peaking at the right time. Prescott openly admitted to reporters that the Vikings defensive scheme was a nightmare to decipher. Specifically, he pointed to the heavy usage of cover zero looks. For those who aren't breaking down the all-22 tape every week, cover zero is an all-out pressure package with no safety help over the top. It is high risk, high reward, and Flores ran it to perfection. Prescott told the press that despite preparing for the cover zero all week, they simply did not have a good enough answer when the bullets started flying. He noted that against a coordinator like Flores, if you don't punish the blitz immediately, he is going to keep sending the house. Prescott said, "You are going to see it again and again. That is what happened. This is a testament to the aggressive identity of this team. We aren't sitting back in soft zones hoping the offense makes a mistake. We are forcing the issue." Prescott elaborated on the difficulty, mentioning that the Vikings secondary played with incredible vision. This is a subtle but crucial detail. He explained that our defensive backs weren't just locking onto their man, they were keeping their eyes on the quarterback while in man coverage. This allowed them to rally to the ball instantly on underneath throws. This technique completely neutralized what Prescott called his normal beaters. Usually, against cover zero, an offense tries to throw quick slants or shallow crosses to get the ball out before the sack. But because the Vikings defensive backs were playing with vision on the quarterback, they were able to jump those routes or make the tackle immediately after the catch, preventing any yards after the catch. Prescott admitted, "They kept it on us and we did not adjust fast enough or come up with something good enough to scare them out of it. We saw it the whole game." That quote right there is music to Vikings fans' ears. We dictated the terms of engagement for 60 minutes on the road. Let's look at the data that supports this. The narrative coming into the game was about the Cowboys' high-powered offense, but the Vikings defense forced Dallas to settle for 6 field goal attempts. In the red zone, the most critical area of the field, the Cowboys went just 2 for 5. That is winning football. When you force a team to trade touchdowns for field goals 3 separate times, you win the game. This performance follows a dominant shutout against the Washington Commanders. The trend line is undeniable. This defense is getting better, faster, and more confusing for opponents as we head into the winter months. Now, looking ahead to Week 16, the strategy remains the same as we prepare for our 3rd consecutive NFC East opponent, the New York Giants. The league buzz is already building around this matchup, and Giants quarterback Jackson Dart sounds just as concerned as Prescott was. I've seen the transcripts from Dart's media availability on December 17, and when asked to describe Flores' defense, he used one word: chaos. That is the reputation we have built. Dart elaborated, saying they try to disguise different looks and bring pressures from everywhere, but acknowledged that despite the chaos, the Vikings are organized in the back end. That is the key differentiator. It looks like chaos to the offense, but to Harrison Smith, Josh Metellus, and the rest of the unit, it is controlled, calculated aggression.
The ability to disguise pressure while maintaining structural integrity in the secondary is rare. Dart noted that the Vikings do it soundly, which means we aren't blowing coverages despite the complex blitz packages. As we inch closer to the playoffs, having a defense that can mentally break a veteran like Dak Prescott and terrify a young quarterback like Jackson Dart is our biggest asset. The fines levied against the Cowboys players serve as a tangible reminder of the physical toll we are inflicting on teams right now. We are beating them on the scoreboard, beating them schematically, and frustrating them into writing checks to the league office. We are witnessing a defensive masterclass right now. The red zone stops, the cover zero execution, and the ability to travel on the road and shut down a desperate team, it all points to a deep postseason run. I want to hear from you guys regarding Brian Flores. Given how he completely dismantled Dak Prescott and has Jackson Dart seeing chaos before kickoff, do you think this is the best defensive coaching job we have seen in Minnesota in the last decade? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section.